This is the Taylor-Hobson Prism Checker software. The main icons on the left are the home page. If anywhere in the program you wish to come back to this page, you press here and you'll return to this main page. These are the global settings and were discussed in a separate video. This is the help page. At any time you can bring up a version of the handbook on the screen and look for any information, and by typing at the bottom for a keyword polygon, each entry of the word polygon will come on the screen every time you hit enter. So you can simply search through the help file for information you want. To close it, we close down. This is how to exit the program. The center pane here are controls for moving the stage, to lock it, to move to 0, and these will be covered in a separate video. This is the results page and the measurement options. Again, a separate video explains the functionality. The last thing is the pane on the right hand side, which is the position of the autocollimator. This is used in conjunction with the Prism Checker to measure the polygon facets or prism faces. There is an X and a Y offset which is shown. The position of the reflected image is shown. This can be zeroed at any stage, and you can put instructions into your program telling the operator to zero this or to remove 0. There is an option here to set averaging. If we switch off, there will be no averaging. If we switch on, we can now set averaging to be 10, 20, 50, 500. But if you set to 500, it means there'll be a long pause between each measurement, because it takes 500 measurements, averages them, and then puts it in as the result. The reason for averaging is to help reduce noise. In the first instance, I would use 10 or 20. There is an invert X and Y. There's a separate video showing the convention of the movement of the stage, and depending on the convention of the polygon, we would normally set X-axis to be inverted, as a clockwise movement of the stage is a positive angle. So on the autocollimator, we want moving to the left on the screen to be positive. We can choose the number of decimal places, 2 being the nominal. We can choose the units, either arc seconds, decimal degrees, or microradians. And this is for future use, for possibly using a second collimator. If we want information on the camera, we can find out what camera serial number is in there, the model number, the resolution of the camera, and the actual calibration, which is very important when the system is being used, the calibration constants for the X and Y. Once we're happy with that, we can tick and go back. And that is really an overview of the main page of the Prism Checker. The one extra thing is ensuring that the correct brightness level is set on the camera. We go into here. You can adjust these by hand, but we would recommend always that you tell it that the reflectivity of the surface is either very high or very low. In the case of a mirror or anti-reflective coating, we can select the sample area, the area of the reflector being collimated off. The important thing is to do an automatic calibration, which is now happening. This sequence happens, the dot will go dark and bright, and then eventually we'll get a message saying it's complete, and now the correct gain and exposure has been set for that distance away from the autocollimator on that reflector.